Hello and welcome back to Brentford Fan TV. I'm Ben.
And I'm Freddie, and today we are doing the start bench loan sale for all the Brentford players going into our team next season. First off, Mark Flecken. I'm going to just say start.
Yeah, pretty obvious one there.
Yeah, I think we know he's had a rough season, but he really picked up form in the second half of the season. Hopefully he can continue that form forward. And yeah, I think he'll be our keeper maybe for a few more years, because he's already like 30, 31, and then we might our first choice keeper might be one of our younger keepers in the team.
Yeah. Next up we got Strakosha, who I don't think he's had too much game time, and he's not really our second choice anymore with new signings. So I think sell.
I'd say so. Yeah, he's played here and there this season, mainly when Flecken's been injured or ill. I wouldn't say he's played badly. I would say he played well for Albania the other day. He got a few clean. Well, he did well for Albania. He got quite a lot of saves, and yeah.
And I feel like it'd be good for him to get into a club where he's actually going to start games.
And I think he's also quite frustrated at Brentford not getting any games as well.
Yeah.
Next, Hakon Valdemarsson, the Icelandic keeper, 22 years old. I'm gonna say bench.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I'd want him to be loaned out, but I think he's going to be the number 2 next season, and so he's not going to be loaned out anyway. So I'm just willing to go with what the club are going to do, and that's bench him. Valdemarsson also played against England the other week, in the friendlies before the Euros, and he got a clean sheet, made a few good saves.
Yeah.
And Brentford Twitter was being very supportive of him, and like the Brentford account was, and I'm like, it is against England, lads, but overall I think he'll be a good first choice goalkeeper, but I think this season he'll be benched.
Yeah. Next up we got Ellery Belcombe, who the club has already sent out on loan, so we're just going to put him in the loan category.
Fair enough, yeah. And then next, Ben Winterbottom. He's been promoted from the B team to the first team this season, and so I reckon it looks like he's going to be the number 3 keeper, like Balcombe was last season, and so I'd just say bench, I guess.
Yeah. He could go on loan, but I feel like we need a third choice anyway.
Yeah, I mean, often our third choice keeper's actually quite young, which is odd, and lots of people would loan out the young keepers, but we seem to have the young keepers as our backups. It's usually better to have older players towards the end of their careers, I feel, as your backup keepers, but I think he's going to be the number 3 this season.
Yeah. Moving on to the defence, to start off we've got Rico Henry. It's pretty obvious this one, I'm just going to put him in start.
Yeah, he's one of our best players. We know he's been really unfortunate with his ACL injury this season, but I don't see our future without him. He's very important for the next 5 years, hopefully. He's already been at the club for 7 years, and yeah.
Yeah, I see him consistently starting next year. The only reason he wasn't starting is because of his injury, so we'll be glad to have him back.
Yeah, I'd say. And next, Aaron Hickey. Start again.
Yeah, another one.
I think he's very good on the ball. Very tidy player. He's very young still. He's part of our future. He's just, of course, very unfortunate to have had his hamstring injury this season.
Yeah. Next, we've got Rosolev, who I think is a bench.
Yeah.
Like he's a good player, but he's not as good as Henry or Hickey. So I feel like he's a good backup in case any of them get injured or miss a game.
I think he's a very good backup. He's nowhere near first team quality, but he's very reliable. He gets up and down the pitch a lot. He's improving his crossing. He gets an odd goal every now and then, which is quite nice. And so I think he's a very good backup in my opinion. I think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just cut out this waffle.
Yeah. Next we got Finn Stevens. What do you think we should do him?
I'd be willing to just say sell, to be honest.
Sell? I was thinking loan, but then also he's had a lot of time away, so he might as well just sell him.
Well, we've already got a backup right back in Roslev, and he's been loaned out for the last 2-3 years every season, and I think it doesn't look like he's going to really get into the team, and so it's better to just sell him than loan him again.
I do say we do need more depth in the fullback positions, but I feel like Finn Stevens wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah, but more on the left side, of course.
Yeah.
Next up, Christopher Ayer. I'm going to say bench.
Yeah, I'd say bench.
He's a very good player. He's very versatile. He can play centre back and right back. He even played right wing back against, I think, Liverpool away last season. And he's very good, very passionate, and he's still reasonably young, so he could be part of the future. But I think players like Collins, Ethan Pinnock, Hickey, they're all more starting 11 than Christopher Ayer.
He's a very good rotation player, and he can do a role in the defence that we need him to. So that's a good reason to keep him.
Yeah. Nathan Collins next. I'm going to say start.
Yeah, very obvious one here.
He's obviously young. He's going to be part of the future. I think he's had a good season. I know we all know he's had his moments, but I think he's good. I think he's confident on the ball. That's important, and I think he'll be a big part of our future.
Yeah, I think he will be as well.
Next, Ben Mee. What do you think?
I would say bench, even though he may start in a back three if we play that formation. But I feel like next season we're mostly just going to play the back four. Yeah. So I'm going to put him in bench.
Yeah. 2 seasons ago, he was, I think, fans' player of the season, and he was incredible. Yeah. But he's now 35 or 36. He's going to lose a lot of pace, and he's just really there for experience, and I think he's very good for that, and that's why he's on the bench.
Yeah.
Next up, Ethan Pinnock, one of our best players.
Yeah,
definitely start.
Yeah, 100%.
He got fans' player of the season this season, and he's just so reliable. He's definitely part of the future for the next 3 or 4 years, however many years he's got left in him.
Yeah, and the only games we lost last season, most of them were without Pinnock. So
I don't think we won a game without him last season. That's how important he is. And I remember Ivan Toney said in an interview, he was asked who's the best defender he's played against or something, and he said one of the best he ever played against was Ethan Pinnock, and then he joined Brentford and he became his teammate, and so high praise for Pinnock, heavily underrated. Next up, Kim Ji-soo, what do you think?
I'm thinking either bench or loan, because he's quite young, maybe not good enough to start. But I feel like bench would be a better option for him.
I think, he's young and it's always good to get them experience. But I'd say bench because I think he's probably 5th choice centre-back. But there's always going to be 1 or 2 injuries. And so he might get a few games this season, especially in the Cups. And so, hopefully he can be a big part of our future. We'll see.
Yeah, and next we've got Zanka. I feel like he's been a very good backup for us and been there when we needed him. Yeah. But what do you think?
I'm going to say sell.
Yeah, I feel like he's had a long time at the club and he's done really well.
Yeah, I think he had lots of poor games and good games this season. Yeah. He for many years he did his job. He's not really in the first team, and he'd play once every few months, to be honest. But without injuries last season, he played a lot of first team football. I thought he had good games where he was reliable, but I thought he had lots of games where he wasn't good enough on the ball. Fans seemed to be a bit down whenever he got the ball, and so I think it's time to sell him. He's getting on a bit, and I think just sell him to Copenhagen or something where he's loved by the Danish fans already.
Wait, isn't he going there?
I think
I saw
he's
something
linked.
where he has.
I think he's linked.
Oh, okay,
I'm not entirely sure, but I know Danish fans like him a lot, and so he'd do well.
Yeah, a return to Copenhagen would be good for him.